Okay, so this message is for those of you that are coming into your fullest expression. So it feels like if you're here and this resonates with you, you've obviously been shedding. I've been tapping into that a lot. I just feel like, yeah, 2025 has been a year where, let's face it, we've all been shedding our old selves. And yes, some more than others. And, for some people, it's just slower, and that's fine, right? You have to honor your process of healing and growth and coming into this new version of yourself, right? But yeah, this is going to be specifically for those where it's like you have been shedding. And as you have been shedding, you've been stepping more and more into your truest self. And it feels like the real real thing that you're here to do. You know what I mean? Like you're just getting the clarity of what you're here to share, what you're here to express, what you're here to create, right? A lot of us actually have been coming back into that. I've been seeing this even within my own friend circle that are not even like too much into, I don't know, self-healing or whatever. Like I've been seeing that they're reclaiming their own like dormant gifts within them, and they're starting to get more comfortable with it. And I think, truly, I think it's a beautiful thing. I've mentioned this before. It's just like when you can come in and share from the depths of your soul of what you're here to actually express, and it's like from the most beautiful and authentic place, like trust me, people receive that, people get that. Like on an energetic, we all know whether you're doing something that you like, or whether you're doing something because you're forced to, or you're doing it to impress others, or there's like all these external reasons of doing what you're doing, right? And which is, like that just kind of reminds me, this is what I mean by like masks are dropping because we're seeing the truth behind everything. So this is what I mean is like we no longer can hide behind those things, and we can no longer live out of integrity of saying that, oh no, we really like doing X, Y, and Z, or the life that you're living or the relationship that you have. Like we're coming to a time where more and more people are just really starting to feel the truth behind your actions, your words, what you're doing. And so it's like, it's no longer like holding up, right? People are feeling it, people are seeing it. So if you are trying to present your life or what you're doing in this like very beautiful way, but you're not actually happy with it, more and more people are just gonna be like, yeah, okay, like you're not telling the truth. And ultimately you're just lying to yourself, right? And this is kind of what I mean. Like sorry guys, this is all like coming through. I literally thought I was gonna go somewhere else, which I will, but this is all coming through right now, which is why I said like a few weeks ago, for those of you that still are trying to hold and grasp onto your old life and old ways of being, like you gotta start getting comfortable with the uncomfort of revealing that. We've all been initiated into that. Like I said, there's just been people who have started this process earlier, And especially for those people, you can't lie. Like, we pick that up right away. We're like, okay, sure, you're happy in this. Okay, whatever. Um, but we're all headed that same direction where it's like, start being honest. Start being honest with yourself. Like, okay, this isn't making me happy, right? And then reassess, right? But anyway, like I said, getting back to, for those of you that have been honest with yourself, for those of you that have walked away from a lot of things and you've been coming into your true purpose and your true expression, and yeah, reclaiming these lost parts of yourself. For those of you that are vocally expressing your truths, and it feels more of like the voice activation, right? So yeah, it feels like you're expressing something vocally, like, so you could be doing what I'm doing, in whatever way, shape, or form, but it's like you're expressing truths. You're cutting through illusion, you're seeing through illusions and distortions, and you're coming into that. Interesting. I kind of wanted to do a separate message on this, and I can see the connection here. It's going to be called something like, actually, maybe this does want to come out. It's basically your truth serum. Yeah. Yeah, so it's for those of you, specifically for those of you that are speaking out on truths. You're stepping more into that, is what I was feeling. Is, yes, you had to, clear out whatever distortions, and then yes, you were taking baby steps in delivering truths. Now I do want to say it's either vocally or you're like writing, right? Is that expression, right? Where you're calling out, you're naming out truths. Not fluffy, not fluffy stuff, but truths. And for those of you that are doing that, you know that that's not a comfortable path. That truly isn't. You might, like, people might think, like, yeah, I want to hear the truth. I honor truth. I like truth, right? But the thing is, once they get a dose of it, they're like, oh, wait a minute, this is horrible tasting medicine. And it's like they regret it, they get angry about it. And it's because it's like, it's the truth that they can't accept within themselves, right? It goes against their own conditioning and their own programming. And for those people who haven't done a lot of shadow work, who haven't confronted stuff within themselves, it's very hard to accept something that you might be exposing, because it really alters their reality and their identity that they're attached to. Because again, a lot of these things that you may be calling out, it's like it's revealing the truth of it all. Like, it's like stripping everything to the bare bones of it. And when people have conditionings, beliefs, they've wrapped their identity around something. Oh, that's very triggering to that kind of person, because they're like, you're literally making me question my own identity. And they don't like that. They try and protect that against everything until, for example, like a higher power, divine orchestration comes in and dismantles their whole entire life. And again, this is what a midlife crisis is usually called, or, dark night of the soul, because it's like, wait, so I'm not this person, I'm not this career path, I'm not this person that has all these things, right? And then it's like, it's this starts the real inquiry of, who am I and why am I here? And what do I actually want, before the world told me what I should want and who I should be. And for those of you that are doing that, for those of you that are delivering these truths, good for you, truly. Again, I want to say I know this isn't an easy path. This is a path that I'm also walking on. And when you first start out on it, you think that, isn't this great? Like, do you guys see also through this distortion? But again, it's a lot of there's some people that agree with it, and then some people are like, excuse you? And then and they get defensive and they attack. And then truth is, like, I already know this, so I'm very like whatever about it. And and you could be that way too. And good for you, because that is an initiation that you do have to go through. It's like, yes, you're being that light worker, for example, or you're cutting through truths, you're delivering truths, and you have to go through initiation to grow. Because what I was feeling with this is, because for those of you that have been delivering truths, you're going to be stepping more into that, truly. Which is why I wanted to make the message of, like, you're a truth serum. Like, again, you're going to be stepping more and more into that role. And when you think about it, when you step more and more into that, there's going to be more, even more contrasting experiences for you. And so these little, you could call them attacks, these little daggers that people throw your way when they receive your truth, and to them it's like, nope, or she or he is attacking my identity. Not good, right? These are your initiations to get comfortable with, not for you not to identify with what these people are saying, for not taking their like offensiveness to your heart, being like, okay, well, I know what just happened. Their identity got triggered, of holding on to a certain belief or concept or whatever, right? And yeah, you're just going through that initiation process, and it does feel like, for those of you, you've gone through that. You've like, there's, I don't know if I want to call it like there's like a band-aid, kind of. Like, there's a barrier around you and those people. So like, even when they try and throw daggers at you for like confronting their stuff, those daggers are bouncing off of that barrier, and you're just like, okay, like, you're just not ready to hear this truth. It's not for you. You're not ready for it. That's fine. But I'm telling you guys, again, those of you walking that path, those people are going to come back. Those people are going to come back to whatever you're putting out there, and they're going to be like, yep. And it's going to be a very humbling experience for them, of like, oh, well, wow. Months ago, I attacked this person for stating these truths, and then they have their like midlife crisis or dark night of the soul, and they're like, oh, well, yep. That person that stated these truths was right. And they're going to be like, damn, what a humbling experience. Again, anybody who kind of like operates from the ego and operates from a very prideful and like, they know everything, and that type of way, which I know you guys don't operate like, the people walking this path, I know you've already had your humbling experience, because the divine makes sure to like sit your butt down and like learn a lesson or two. You know what I mean? And even like for myself, like, I know I tap into these things, but at the same time, I don't think I'm like an authority in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that you guys can be tapping into this too, especially when you become a clear vessel and you clear all your own distortions, you can be tapping into this too. Right? I'm just sharing what I'm sharing what I tap into. If you resonate, cool. If you don't, cool. I don't care. Like, it's not for you. You're not ready to hear and receive this. And that's more than fine, because what I tap into is meant for those people who are ready to actually receive it and get whatever they need to get from it, right? But yeah, like, life knows how to, or the divine knows how to humble some people real quick. Real quick, if someone starts operating from a very like, I'm the messiah type of thing, or like, I'm the best. This is why I tell you guys, I don't like to use the word master, because it's like, do you ever really master something? You can be really good at it. You continue like building and building and building it, but can you ever really be a master? Because for to me, a master means like you're above everybody else. And that's not the case. That's not the case. You know, we're all learning different things and we all kind of go in different directions, but like, you can be really good at something and just continue learning about it, right? Anyway, anyway. um yeah, so you guys are like the truth serum. You're the truth medicine. You're delivering truths. You're sticking it into people's mouths, and some are ready for it. Some swallow it with some humility, and others just spit it right out and reject it and tell you, that you're this, you're that, you're wrong, blah 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 blah. And it's been, like I said, it's just been strengthening you, because as you grow, as you continue to grow in whatever you're doing, because it does feel that way. It feels like you are graduating these levels, these steps of doing whatever you're doing, right? There's going to be more of that, and you're just going to have to be okay with like receiving it, because again, if your voice gets bigger, if your voice gets more amplified, you're going to experience more contrast. So if you guys are dealing with that, just know that you're just strengthening that muscle of just not letting those things in, not letting it touch you, and just continue on the path of expressing yourself, expressing these truths that you are delivering to people. And again, this could look in whatever way, shape, or form, okay? Because I know you guys can be tapping into your own ways of delivering and presenting truths, or whatever you're tapping into, or your own medicine, right? Whatever that is. And you are going to grow more and more in that. And it does feel like there's almost like a recalibration of you expressing, like a vocally expressing whatever or if you're writing, there's like a recalibration going on, because it's like you did pass that initiatory level test, whatever, you did pass it, and it's like, yeah, there's another wave coming of people finding you, seeing you, resonating with you, even those that might have not liked your messages at first. They come back and they're like, yeah, okay, life humbled me a little bit, and I saw through it, and I agree with this person, right? And again, this is not an ego thing, it's not a pride thing. Like, I'm sure those of you who are walking this path, again, if you start thinking, I'm like the savior, like, the divine will humble you real quick, like, so you keep yourself, again, like, I know I call in a very integral group of people where you keep yourself in check too. So if you ever do have a thought like that, you're like, oh, okay, relax. And I feel like most of you don't, but you know how to keep yourself in line. You do this work on yourself, which is why you're delivering it to others, because you've walked that path and you want to just help others get there quicker or easier, or prepare them for the path that they're about to walk on, right? And yeah, Yeah, so if you're here, it just feels like you're going through a recalibration. What that could be is like perhaps maybe you're more tired. You might not really feel like sharing things, sharing your truths. Um Honor that process, because again, it's like your system is going through an update. And if your computer, your phone goes through an update, you need to kind of back off and let your system recalibrate, because your voice is just going to get bigger and louder. And it feels like there's going to be another wave of people coming in and finding you, right? So this is a really, really good thing. But again, just remember, like, with that, there's always going to be a contrast, right? The dark and the light with that. So just know that. I'm sure, like I said, you guys already been through that first phase. You're going to enter your second one. But ultimately, good job. Good job. For those of you that, again, you're walking this path, you know if this is for you, right? Again, I don't think I'm speaking to a large collective here. There's not that many people who deliver truths and yeah, are doing that, because again, there's a lot of people that like to stick their head in the sand and not see truths, because that means that they have to accept the shadows within themselves, right? But again, I do feel like more and more we're just coming to that time, and people will seek you out as time goes on because they're going to start resonating with the uncomfortable, the heavy truths. So anyway, guys, I that's what I have for you, because that's what I was tapping into. Good job. Keep going. Take this as your confirmation of like, continue, let yourself recalibrate, let yourself rest, because your voice, your expression, your medicine, your gifts are just going to get bigger and louder. Alrighty, guys, sending you so much love. I hope that this resonated, and I'll see you on the next one.